Secretary of State Marco Rubio is pledging that the U.S. will respond appropriately to the killing of 4 people in Cuba aboard an American speedboat. Let's take a listen.
It is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that. It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time. But we're going to find out. We're not going to base our conclusions on what they've told us. And I'm very, very confident that we will know the full story of what happened here, and we will know it soon. And then, we'll respond appropriately based on what that information tells us.
Cuba's Interior Ministry on Wednesday said that its soldiers killed 4 people and wounded 6 others aboard a Florida-registered speedboat. The Cuban government added that the 10 people on the boat were armed Cubans living in America trying to infiltrate the island and, quote, have a known history of criminal and violent activity. In an ex-post shared by Cuban embassy in the U.S., Cuba's Interior Ministry said, quote, when a surface unit of the border guard troops of the Ministry of the Interior carrying 5 service members approached the vessel for identification, the crew of the violating speedboat opened fire on the Cuban personnel, resulting in the injury of the commander of the Cuban vessel.
Many people, media reacted to the incident saying it was an act of war, while others suggested waiting for the facts. Jesse Kelly, host of the Jesse Kelly Show, wrote on X, it's a speedboat in the Caribbean close to Cuba. This might not be a deep-sea fishing expedition. Let's just wait for some facts.
This comes amid an escalating tension between the U.S. and Cuba. The Trump administration is restricting trade with Cuba, citing its close ties to Iran, Russia, and China. The White House has also threatened to punish any country that directly or indirectly provides oil to Cuba.
Yeah, I would also
pause.
Wait.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on here. I obviously don't want to just take the Cuban government's word for it, but we have not had these kinds of clashes with them in the past in a very, very long time. So honestly, it does not, they might not be wrong here. They said this is Cubans trying to sneak back into Cuba for some criminal purpose. And if that's what it is, then obviously I don't really think any kind of retaliation on our part is warranted. If they, I'm opposed to the Cuban government, but we can't just have, we're not greenlighting some, effort to send Cubans are going to go back to try to overthrow. I have no idea what this could be about. Drugs. It could just be about crime. It could be, I have no idea. We really have no idea. So yes, there should be no rash kind of response. And honestly, a response might not even be warranted because this might be a violation of their sovereignty.
Right.
If people are just entering their harbor or then they're opened fire on personnel, can't do that. Now, maybe that's not what happened. Who knows? They can be liars, but Marco Rubio has it exactly right. We'll stop, pause, wait and see.
One of the most alarming things for me is that the boat obviously is registered in Florida, and so therefore perhaps we could consider that it could be a Cuban American or an American on the boat. They didn't say who.
I take that to mean that they were in Florida and they came.
Right,
but they're Cubans.
Right, but who knows? That's what I mean. Where did the boat? Who's the boat registered to? Was that person on the boat? These are all real questions.
I hope it's not some stupid Bay of Pigs Part 2 thing where we told them to do it. I can't imagine.
Well, I hope not, because then they have some explaining to do. But countries control waters that are in 12 nautical miles of their coast, and so this falls under that. This is going to be a lot of back and forth. I think that tensions that are already escalated. I mean, we cut off most oil supply to Cuba, particularly in Venezuela. So there's an active beef going on between the U.S. and Cuba. Not that they have any actual real retaliation power against us, but it's good to know that we're not in the best situation with Cuba, and we don't have to be. But this is where we stand, and there could potentially be an American-owned boat that was attacked, and we need to know who was on it and why. Next on Rising, the FBI director is using his best judgment when it comes to using taxpayer-funded, or is he, for travel? Stick around, we'll talk about it.